Welcome back to Cask and Point. Today is day 12 of our New Era Bourbon Club Advent Calendar, where from December 1st to December 25th, we'll be trying 25 fun, funky, mysterious samples. We're going to give tasting notes, we're going to rate it, we're trying to guess what we have, and then at the end of the video, we will find out exactly what we just had. Now, yesterday we did incredibly well. We got it right on the dot, and, day one we did really well, so we've had two that we did really well. We had a few others that we were in the ballpark, we got the proofs right and stuff like that, but beyond that, we have not been having a good time with this. I feel like I'm trying one thing and it's a completely different thing in a completely different country and a completely different proof and a completely different mash bill. It's been fun, but let's see what day 12 has for us. Interesting. So on the nose here, it definitely smells like we're in America. The proof doesn't seem super high, but I'm just not getting a ton of maltiness on this, so I don't think this is like a Scotch or Irish whiskey. Yeah, so there's a good amount of baking spice on this. There's some cinnamon, a little bit of maple and honey, and a good amount of oak, a nice sweet oak there, some vanilla. And there are some figs on this, but really not a ton of like bright red fruit or anything like that. I'm immediately thinking this is a bourbon and probably an older bourbon, but it could be just one of those more fruity, sweeter ryes. Let's try it and see. Interesting. That's definitely a bourbon, I think. Could be a rye, but without a doubt, we are in America. We're in the bourbon or rye category on this. On that first sip, I'm thinking we're around 105 proof. I think there's some caramel on this. There's some oak. It's pretty straightforward, though. Like we're not drinking something that's crazy nice. I don't actually think it's going to be that old. I think we're going to be in the 6 to 8 year range. Tastes like Kentucky. Doesn't really taste like an Indiana whiskey or a Tennessee whiskey or anything. It smells pretty good. Tastes pretty good. It's nothing special, though. Like, it's pretty discreet on this one. It's going to be hard to determine the exact distillery because I'm starting to think, like, Buffalo Trace has a pretty distinct flavor profile. Wild Turkey has a pretty distinct flavor profile. I don't really think it's going to be any of those. But it also doesn't really taste like it's Barton or anything in particular. It kind of just tastes like, oh, yes, this is a Kentucky bourbon, $60 bourbon, nothing too special. It could be a store pick of something nice, like maybe like a Heaven's Door store pick or something like that. Like something from Kentucky that could be sourced, could not be sourced, but nothing crazy in the $60, $70 range. Let's take a second sip here. It's good. It's probably like 110 proof. I'd be surprised if it was that much higher. It's really not drinking that hot, but it's not drinking like 80 or 90 either. There's definitely some flavor on this. I would say the flavor profile is built with a lot of baking spice throughout the pour, a good amount of caramel, and a good amount of oak, and I don't really think there's anything else on it. Like, there's really no fruit on there. There's the lightest amount of plum and fig, if you really think about it, but there's no red fruit on this. There's no bright red fruit on this at all. And the finish is probably short to medium, which is why I'm thinking this just isn't going to be like 120 proof. I think we're on a 110. I'm pretty confident that, all these details are pretty accurate, but I don't really know where that leads us. Like, these stats don't immediately lead me to anything, because I think there are just so many options in this category. I mean, it could be basically anything that's going to be like a store pick that's 110, 115 proof. Maybe it's like a Rebel cask strength, something like that. But it's Kentucky, and it's just not super particular, which makes this tough. Let's take a third sip here, and let's find out what we're having. Yeah, it's good. It's nothing special. Today I'm going to rate this 7.1. I'm not blown away, but I'm not disappointed at all. It's good. It's good whiskey. It's not great whiskey. Anywhere close to great whiskey. I think I've gotten the proof, I've gotten the age, I've gotten the state. I can't really give much more than that. I mean, if I have to give a guess, I'd say something like Heaven's Door cask strength, or maybe Uncle Nearest single barrel, although we've had one of those already. Or maybe it's something like a Rebel cask strength. Like, this is going to be a pretty shelfer, mid-tier pour, I think. Let's find out what we're having. So, I'll put it on the screen as I'm looking at it. We're on day 12. There are some notes here, which is interesting, so we'll get to those notes, but let's find out what we had. Heaven's Door! I'm a genius! I'm a genius!
Sometimes my genius is... it's almost frightening.
I guessed Heaven's Door. I've only had Heaven's Door once. I had one single barrel one time. Oh, man, that's fun. I guessed it. Okay, cool. Oh, we're going to take that. We're going to call that a win. Yeah, I mean, it tastes like a discreet Kentucky bourbon. Let's see what else other information we get out of this. This is a red breast thing. So straight bourbon whiskey finished in Irish whiskey casks. That's interesting. I've never had red breast, so I don't really know how much about that flavor profile is really affecting this bourbon, but that's a lot of fun. It is actually a Heaven's Door. I'm so glad we actually basically got that one. I think we got that one. It's aged 10 years. What's the proof on it? The proof cannot be super high. I might have to look up the proof here because I can't really zoom into any of these foods. Oh, 100 proof. Okay, yeah. So we were saying 100, 105. I didn't think it was 120. We got the proof right. Hey, I said Heaven's Door. So, I'll clip that right now. I said Heaven's Door. We're going to take that. Heaven's Door, Heaven's Door, Heaven's Door. So for the notes here, it says Heaven's Door Master Blenders Edition, cask strength bourbon whiskey finished in red breast Irish whiskey cask, aged 10 years, 100 proof. The second half of the Irish-themed flight figured it would be nice to pit a solid Irish bottle versus a slightly above-average bourbon finished in Irish casks. Yeah, that's really cool. So I guess there were some flights designed here. I haven't done any of the flights. I've just done one sample per day, but it seems like maybe that was supposed to go up against Gold Spot. It's good. I don't like it as much as Gold Spot. I think Gold Spot is really solid for what it is, but this is a solid bourbon. I'm imagining the price on this is a little bit expensive. I'll put it on your screen right now what the price is and if I think it's worth it, but I'm almost positive this isn't $60 or $70. It's probably like $100 or $120, and it's not worth that, but that was good. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all learned something. I had a lot of fun. We got another one right. We're on a streak right now. Hopefully day 13 will be as good. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.